All right, strap yourselves in for today's deep dive. We got a whole bunch of articles about this Stargate AI project, and wow, talk about a wild ride. We're talking billions of dollars, these big personalities in tech, and the kind of tech that could, I don't know, totally change everything.
Yeah, and it's not even just about the tech itself, it's like who's going to be top dog. You got President Trump, right? He's all about Stargate, saying it's going to make America the AI leader. This huge team up with companies like OpenAI and Oracle.
Right, but then...
And on the other side...
you got Elon Musk.
Exactly. Elon Musk, who advises Trump, is out there saying the whole thing is a fantasy, that they don't have the money.
So, what's the deal? Huge step forward or a total disaster waiting to happen?
That's what we're going to figure out.
Okay, before we get too deep into this whole drama, maybe we should back up a bit.
Yeah, good idea.
What exactly is Stargate? Explain it so anyone listening can picture it.
Okay, so picture this. Tons of these huge data centers, right? And they're all cranking away, training AI in a way that's never been done before. That's the heart of Stargate. Building the infrastructure, the digital base, so America can be number one in the AI world.
We're talking about a $500 billion project, though, right?
Yeah, $500 billion.
That's not pocket change. Where's all that money coming from?
It's like a high-stakes poker game. You got the government involved, and then these huge tech companies, OpenAI, Oracle, SoftBank, these MGX investment firms, they're all putting down serious cash. The starting bet is $100 billion, but they're thinking it could hit $500 billion in just 4 years.
And then you got the big tech companies, too. Microsoft, NVIDIA, ARM Holdings. What are they doing in all this?
They're the ones actually building this thing. They're providing the hardware, the software, all the computing power that Stargate needs, to work.
Okay, but then you have Elon Musk saying it's all a bunch of BS. He's going around saying they don't actually have the money, and he's specifically calling out SoftBank. What's he doing? Is this like a tech world prank, or is there something more to what he's saying?
Well, don't forget, Musk was one of the people who started OpenAI. He was there at the beginning.
Oh, right.
But then he left, and he's been getting more and more critical of where OpenAI is going. He even started his own AI company called XAI.
So maybe there's some, bad feelings there.
Maybe a bit of rivalry, yeah.
Plus, everyone knows SoftBank has had some financial struggles lately. So is Musk right? Could Stargate actually fall apart?
That's the big question. Musk's saying, even if it's harsh, brings up a good point. Can SoftBank actually put up the money they promised, or is this just like a show? And if they can't do it, what happens to the whole project?
And here's the thing, right? Musk isn't just some random tech guy complaining. He's actually advising President Trump. He leads that Department of Government Efficiency thing. But here he is publicly trashing Trump's big project.
It's really interesting when you think about it, right? You have Musk, who's supposed to make the government efficient, questioning this massive $500 billion project.
Yeah.
And at the same time, he's battling it out with OpenAI, which is, crucial for Stargate.
It's a tangled mess. Is he really worried about wasting taxpayer money? Or is he just trying to sabotage his competition?
And then you have Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI.
Right.
He's not just going to sit there and take it, right? He's hitting back at Musk, saying his claims are wrong, and even telling him, come see the Stargate construction site in Texas yourself. It's almost like, a schoolyard fight, except they're fighting over the future of AI.
Yeah, and then there's that thing where Altman says Musk should be putting America first. It's like he's saying Musk is being unpatriotic or something just because he's questioning Stargate.
Yeah, he's playing the patriotism card, making it sound like Musk is a threat to national security. It's pretty smart, especially because Musk is working with the government now.
But it also shows how much OpenAI and Musk's company, XAI, are competing, right? They both want to be the ones who shape the future of AI, and Stargate is the big prize.
Totally. Altman keeps talking about how OpenAI wants to achieve artificial general intelligence, or AGI.
Hold on. Can you explain AGI like I'm 5? What's the big deal about it?
Okay, so AGI is basically like machines that are as smart as humans, or maybe even smarter.
Whoa.
They could solve problems we haven't even thought of, be creative, adapt to anything, learn incredibly fast. That's the dream of AGI. And Stargate, with all its resources, could be the thing that makes it happen.
But isn't that kind of scary, like robots taking over?
Some people definitely worry about that, yeah, about what happens when we create something smarter than us.
Yeah.
But Altman thinks we can't stop AGI, so we might as well be the ones in control, teach a human the values, try to keep it under control.
Okay, so Stargate isn't just about building data centers. It's about, the future of intelligence itself.
Exactly.
Heavy stuff. There's also that historical angle, though. Remember when the information reported on OpenAI's data center project back in March 2024?
Yeah,
They called it Stargate even back then.
that's important. It shows how secret this project has been, how long it's been in the works, quietly gaining support.
And then there was that announcement in July 2024 about this huge multi-billion-dollar AI data center project in Texas. It involved Crusoe Energy Systems and Lancium, but nobody knew who was paying for it.
Looking back, it seems like that was Stargate all along, right?
The pieces are starting to fit together. It wasn't something the president just decided on a whim. This plan has been in motion for over a year.
So why is Musk choosing now to make a big fuss?
Maybe he doesn't want to completely destroy Stargate. Maybe he wants to force them to be more open and accountable, you know?
That's interesting.
Maybe he sees himself as the one who has to ask the tough questions to make sure this whole experiment doesn't blow up in our faces. Okay, but even among those who supposedly support Stargate, there's some, weird things going on. Remember Larry Ellison from Oracle talking about 20 data centers? But Microsoft was totally missing from Trump's announcement.
Right. And then Microsoft, even though they said they're investing in Stargate, they're being really vague about what their partnership with OpenAI will look like in the future, saying it will evolve.
What does that even mean?
So even the people on the same side are kind of fighting for control.
Yeah.
Everyone wants a piece of the AI pie, but who's going to be the one who decides how it's made?
It makes you wonder, in this race to the future, is everyone really working together? Or are we heading towards a situation where it's every man for himself?
That's a great question to think about. When you think about Stargate, it's hard not to think about those massive, game-changing projects from the past,
Right.
like the Manhattan Project, the Apollo program, even figuring out the human genome.
Yeah.
Those were huge risks, driven by ambition and, I don't know, maybe a bit of national pride, too. What's interesting is how those projects, they kind of capture the mood of their time.
Right.
They become more than just science, They represent progress, humanity pushing its limits.
And Stargate, with this whole idea of unlocking AI, it definitely fits that, right? It could revolutionize everything. Medicine, transportation, energy, even warfare.
Yeah, but it also opens up a whole can of worms.
Yeah.
What about the social impact? Jobs disappearing, ethical questions. We're talking about tech that could change what it means to be human.
And let's not forget the environmental impact, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Well, AI, even now, uses a ton of energy.
Yeah.
These giant data centers Stargate needs, they're going to suck up electricity like crazy.
It's a good reminder that even the best inventions often come with a big environmental cost. The question is it worth it? Are we willing to risk the planet's future for AI dominance?
And that leads to the big debate. Should the government be this involved in shaping the future of AI?
It's that classic argument, free market versus government control. Some people say the government will just mess things up, hold back innovation, and play favorites.
Right.
But then you look at what's happening globally. China's investing billions in AI.
Yeah.
Can the U.S. just sit back and watch?
It's like a high-stakes chess game, right?
Right.
Winner takes all. And Stargate is America's move.
Exactly. But even beyond the politics, there's the fundamental question about AGI. Is it something we should even be pursuing? Or is it like a disaster waiting to happen?
It's almost like we're trying to create a genie in a bottle, but we have no clue if it's going to grant wishes or turn on us.
Right. And you have brilliant people like Altman saying that AGI is going to happen no matter what, so we might as well be in charge, teach it right from wrong, try to control it.
But then you have others like Musk who seem to be warning us about, messing with forces we don't understand, creating something that could make us obsolete.
Yeah, it's deep, right?
Yeah.
What does it even mean to create intelligence? And where do we draw the line?
Okay, but let's get back to reality for a second. What about the good stuff Stargate could bring? People are saying it'll boost the economy, create jobs, lead to breakthroughs in medicine and energy.
Yeah, those are exciting possibilities. Imagine AI curing diseases, solving climate change, helping us understand the universe.
It's a tempting vision. But then you have the critics saying it's all just hype, that the only ones who will really benefit are a few big tech companies, and the rest of us will just have to deal with the consequences.
And don't forget about jobs. What happens when AI can do your job better, faster, and cheaper?
We're already seeing it, right? Truck drivers, factory workers, even journalists are competing with algorithms.
And it's not just those jobs either. AI is coming for white-collar jobs too. Lawyers, doctors, accountants, even programmers are feeling the pressure.
It's a serious question. What will work even look like when AI can do almost everything?
It's something we need to figure out, now. We need to think about retraining, basic income, completely new ways of thinking about the economy.
Because one thing's clear, the robots aren't coming, they're already here. And Stargate is just the beginning.
And that brings us to another big issue with Stargate. Algorithmic bias. AI learns from tons of data, but that data often has biases from society baked in.
So if the data's messed up, the AI is going to be messed up too.
Exactly. And that's where things get tricky, because these biases in AI can make existing inequalities even worse. In hiring, lending, even the justice system.
Imagine an AI that's supposed to choose who gets hired, but it's learned from data that's biased against women or certain races. It could end up rejecting qualified people for all the wrong reasons.
That's scary stuff, right? Yeah. It shows that technology isn't neutral. It reflects the values and biases of the people who create it.
So how do we make sure Stargate, with all its power, doesn't become a tool for discrimination?
That's the challenge. We need to be watching closely, demand transparency, and make sure ethical guidelines are built into AI from the start.
We can't just trust the tech companies to do the right thing. We need rules, oversight, people constantly checking to make sure AI is helping people, not hurting them.
And that brings us to another huge part of the Stargate story. It's not just an American thing, it's global.
Yeah, it's like we're watching a whole new world order being built, right? And AI is like the engine driving it. And Stargate, with how ambitious it is, how big it is, it's like throwing gasoline on a fire that's already burning.
Yeah, the competition in AI globally is already, super intense, right? The US and China are going head to head, both trying to control this technology that could change everything.
So is Stargate gonna make things worse? Is it gonna turn AI into, the ultimate weapon, something countries fight over?
There's a real chance that other countries see Stargate as, a challenge, a sign that the US is serious about being #1 in AI.
And what happens then? Does everyone else try to catch up, spend tons of money on their own AI projects? Do we forget about working together?
That's a worry, right? It's not just the US and China either. Other countries, they might feel like they have to join the race if they don't want to be left behind. And that means less cooperation, less stability globally.
So instead of using AI to help everyone, we might end up in a world where everyone's suspicious of each other, competing, just looking out for themselves.
It's a possibility, but it doesn't have to be that way. We can still try to guide AI in a direction that benefits everyone.
How do we do that, though? How do we get everyone on the same page, build trust, make sure AI is used for good, not for, world domination?
It starts with talking, Open or honest conversations about the good and bad that can come from AI. We need to agree on some basic rules for developing AI responsibly. Rules that put people first, make sure things are fair, and protect the planet.
And that means getting everyone involved, right? Not just governments and companies, but regular people who think about ethics, the whole world, really.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
We need everyone working together to shape AI's future, something that goes beyond borders, where everyone takes responsibility for guiding this powerful technology.
It's a huge task, but we can't ignore it. What's at stake is, the future of humanity, what it even means to be human.
And that brings us back to you, the listener. What do you think your role is in all this? How are you going to deal with the ethical and social and global impacts of AI?
That's a question we all need to ask ourselves, because the future of AI isn't set in stone. It's something we're creating right now with every choice we make.
And as we go into this uncharted territory, remember this: AI isn't some mysterious force out there. It's a reflection of us, our values, our hopes, our fears.
So as we step into this new age of intelligence, let's do it wisely, with compassion, focused on building a future where AI empowers us, not controls us.
That's a future worth fighting for, and a future we can build together.
Thanks for joining us on this deep dive into Stargate. And remember, the conversation doesn't end here. Keep learning, keep asking questions, keep shaping the future of AI.